I'm John Patton. I haven't been around Venice for quite a while now. I left Venice about a week ago just to get out of town and to lock myself away and so I could try to quit smoking. So it's been a week now since I've had a cigarette. It's been exactly a week now since I've had a cigarette. I'm ready to kill anything that moves. And in the middle of all of this, I've been watching what's been going on in Venice with the newspapers and with the online discussions, both on this website and through the emails. Vicky Noreen or Vicky Taylor or Vicky Boone, whatever she's calling herself these days, advocated a recall election for all of council. I think she's on the right track, but she's not going far enough. There's been a tolerance through the years in Venice of just elected officials looking the other way and incompetent and indeed corrupt staff, Vicky included. And that continues on today. In fact, I would wager there are 2 staff department members that I totally trust, and the rest of them, if they all shouldn't be fired, they should at least be looked at. Alan Bullock and Jeff Snyder. Alan, the head of human relations, and Jeff Snyder, the finance director. And as far as I'm concerned, they're the only 2 people in any management situation whatsoever at City Hall that I would trust blindingly. Interim City Manager Nancy Woodley, former engineer. Here's a woman who could not figure out how much a million tons of rocks weighed. And so, through an error caused by her failure to pre-engineer a reef reconstruction job, we lost $1 million that we had to go back and recompensate for because she couldn't figure out how much a ton of rocks weighed. Here's a hint. It's probably not more than a ton of feathers. On top of that, Nancy Woodley violated labor laws when she was interviewing candidates for jobs within the city of Venice and was asking whether or not they had ever filed a union grievance. And if candidates belonged to a union, and especially if they'd ever filed a union grievance, she went on record as saying, not only would you not get the job, I won't allow you to transfer anywhere. That is so illegal that according to one union rep I spoke with, it crosses over into criminal. Why Nancy Woodley was not fired for that, I don't know. But she should have been. You have an IT director, Lance Heiss, who actually helped cover up Steve Randall's embezzlement scheme for a while. When Randall was finally fired after the Ethics Commission came down on him, there was no job search for an IT director, and instead Lance, the second in command, a man who has a GED as his highest education level, is now the city's IT director. This is a man who has made absolutely no attempt to archive all of the public records that by law he is supposed to be archiving. You have a city clerk who never oversaw those functions either. You have a former city manager who never oversaw those functions. And you have a city attorney who basically went through all of this with everybody and then said everything that you're doing is fine. Now, as a result of this, we don't have the archives. We haven't been following the law. As a city, we have not been following the Florida Administrative Code. And Vicky Noreen wants to recall the elected officials who walked into all of this mess and didn't help any by creating their own. I don't think doing a recall election does enough. And I'm beginning to feel very serious about this. I don't think we're fixable anymore. I think Venice needs to be unincorporated because we will not get rid of corrupt and inept people. So forget the recall election. Let's let Sarasota County just take over the city. Because, Vicky, with all due respect, you haven't lifted your hands either. to clean up any of the corruption that's been going on. And you know a lot of it has been going on because you and I have talked for quite a while. That's my take on Venice. I'll be back in town in a week or so, probably very pissed off. In the meantime, you people are all insane.